What's up, everybody? Extra Million here once again with Totally Sick Bioshock Infinite Edition. This is episode 3. It will take us all the way through the Hall of Heroes, where we will fight Cornelius Slate, who is one of Booker's war buddies. He was with him at the Battle of Wounded Knee, and he was also present at the Boxer Rebellion. And this episode will take us all the way through to where we grab the airship. So the Hall of Heroes is essentially like this Disneyland-esque area where you run through the supposed exploits of Comstock. So as you can see, he thinks fairly highly of himself, well, with all the statues.
There's going to be trouble.
All my men have left as a choice. Die at the hands of a tin soldier, or a real one!
So we'll kill some of Slate's men, and then go pick up another infusion. And more money and lockpicks.
Just give us the shock, Jockey.
If you want the Vigors, you will give my men the soldiers' death. They wait for you.
So essentially, before you can go fight Slate, you have to go through two areas. One of which is the Boxer Rebellion, which I already mentioned, and the other one is the battle, or actually it would technically not be a battle, it'd be rather a massacre at Wounded Knee, which was during the end of the Indian Wars, where this religion called Ghost Dancers was heavily prevalent, and it basically led the Indians to believe that they were like invincible against American weapons, and they were essentially all massacred. They were slaughtered. So Booker was there and took part in it.
Comstock wasn't there! The Boxers took my eye and 30 of my...
Slate was also there and lost one of his eyes.
Stone to mark that sacrifice! Give all you got!
As you can see, deadly lungers. The invisible barrier preventing me from going forward hadn't gone away yet, but deadly lungers still allowed me to punch that guy from like 10 feet back. If you sit here and melee this fireman, there's a thing behind you that will prevent most enemies from shooting at you, and they don't usually come up there, so that's fairly useful. Each of the areas has basically a few normal enemies and then one unique enemy. This one has the fireman. The Battle at Wounded Knee has a crow.
After you do the same for me. Come and look for me.
So you essentially just have to travel to each one, beat up everybody there, and then you can go and actually take care of Slate.
Can you hear Comstock's...
This is also the area where we will first do battle with an actual motorized Patriot. They're a little different to fight than some of the normal enemies in that they don't really try to flank you or do anything out of the ordinary. They basically just run straight at you and attack you with their huge Gatling guns.
Now your companion, young lady. He wrapped himself in glory on December 29, 1890.
What does he mean? That Wounded Knee. I can see it in your face.
Tell her, Booker! Tell her how we strode that battlefield like the heroes of Sparta. I still hear the screams. This comes.
He's sneaking around.
Here's the soldier I spoke of! The kind of man Comstock pretended to be! See if I told you true!
So as you can see in this and many other fights, that deadly lungers that I picked up is incredibly useful for closing the distance. And that combined with my ability to gain back health from melee attacks and my ability to just shock people means that I can essentially just spam the melee button and then kill everyone.
I didn't ask for this. I have no quarrel with these men.
Heroes never ask.
I never claimed to be no hero.
Then what are you? If you take away all the parts of Booker DeWitt you tried to erase, what's left? Come back to the Rotunda. It's almost over.
What did Slate mean? What did you try to erase?
Now that you're out of yours, you might realize cages have their advantages.
A choice is better than none, Mr. DeWitt.
So now that we've beaten most of Slate's men, we'll go through this middle area,
What you chose.
which tells us more about, it's the Lady Comstock Memorial. So that reveals a bit of important story about Elizabeth's relationship to Lady Comstock and
Now see how he
Zachary Comstock.
Seed of the prophet, lay in the womb of our Lady.
Now there is a way to skip this whole dialogue sequence and get Elizabeth to pick that lock immediately by running back to the stairs and then running back here, but it's a little finicky to try to get it to work correctly, or at least I could never get it to work 100% of the time, so I just decided to sit through it anyway.
That's my tower.
Lo, while Daisy Fitzroy has murdered my beloved, she shall not have the child. She shall not come betwixt her and prophecy. The seed of the prophet shall sit the throne and drown in flame the mountains of man.
You're Comstock's daughter.
No, I can't be. I can't.
He wants you to follow in his footsteps.
Well, I want a puppy, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna get one.
It's locked.
So this will be the only area where I have to actually use one of Elizabeth's tears, because you can't proceed until you do.
Let me scout ahead, see if there's some way to move forward.
Is that?
It's a tear, something I can bring into this world.
It's a freight hook. Well, that's convenient.
As I said, it's a form of wish fulfillment.
Go ahead.
There you go.
One of the great things about Elizabeth's ability is that
Whenever I get anxious, tears have a way of
all of
appearing.
these things, anything that she can bring into an area can be replenished an infinite number of times. It just takes a second.
Get us access to higher
So if she can bring in something like health packs, or a motorized Patriot, or one of those mosquitoes, the little flying drones with machine guns, and it gets destroyed or used, all you have to do is wait about 20 seconds and it'll be replenished.
Keep your eye open for that shock jump.
So I use the hooks and become invincible and basically just skip all those guys and skip straight to where you find Shock Jockey, but before we do that we have to kill one of the motorized Patriots.
is the man who takes a stab.
And when they're by themselves like this, they're not really all that dangerous, because since I have that electric punch ability, I can basically just stun them, or stun lock them until they die, which is good because they take like 20 to 25 hits, I believe. Even if you are hitting them in the gears in the back, which is their weak point.
does it matter? Comstock took our stories and scrubbed away our soul. Now, he's coming for me. And when I'm gone, all that will be left is the lie.
So we get Elizabeth to pick this door, and we try to get ourselves some shock jockey, but of course, our princess is in another castle, and every bottle is either smashed or has been stolen by Slate,
Look.
who is now basically Electro.
Slate. He's here.
Unfortunately, you never actually get to fight him, which would have been cool. He basically just stands at the top and chucks shock jockey those little crystals at you while his men attack you. Or I guess technically those aren't his men. Some of them are Comstocks. Now this fight has 3 separate waves. The first wave will come from where Slate is standing, where he's throwing all of that stuff. It's probably the hardest one because you're in such a wide open area and there's no real easy way to hide from them or to kill them without putting yourself in the open.
Do this.
The second wave comes from over there by where Elizabeth is standing. And the third wave comes from up there by where that freight hook is. The first wave is just normal guys, so I basically just use Deadly Lunger and just jump straight at them, kill them as quick as I can, and then get close to the wall so that they have to jump down. So once the first group is down, I run over to the door on the right, and there's a fireman inside, and I attack him, which makes him do his AoE attack, which instantly incinerates about half the guys that are in the room, which is really lucky for me. There's a few more guys that are still alive, so I'm trying to keep the firemen in between them and myself. There's also an infusion in this room, so I'll pick that up too.
Perfect.
And then the last wave comes out of a door that's above you. Since I'm not using Elizabeth's tears, I will not be getting up there. So I basically just have to wait for them to jump down. It's a bunch of normal guys, and money, and a motorized Patriot. So basically the plan of attack is wait for them to jump down, shock them or kill them as fast as possible, and then just stun the motorized Patriot when I can, because he obviously has to be dealt with last. We'll go and stun him. And keep him between me and the remaining guys. As you can see, when you're close, the Patriot will swing his gun, basically just smash you in the face. So that's the end of that fight, and that's pretty much it. There are a few more guys before you get to Slate, and then you either get the choice to spare his life, or you can just shoot him in the face. And actually, even if you spare his life, you can find him later in the game and still shoot him in the face. Oh yeah, do not get hit by those because they will basically kill you in one hit on 1999 mode. If they don't outright kill you, those crystals will still break your shield and make it that much easier for those guys to kill you.
You're not done here, soldier! Eat everything that's on your plate! Finish it! They haven't changed you, Booker. Not one bit.
Kind of a shame that Slate had to die. He had one hell of a mustache.
Shock Jockey. Oh, this better be worth it.
So this is Shock Jockey. It's the only one that we were actually required to pick up. All of the Vigors have a main fire and an alt fire. The main fire is just when you tap it, and in this case it just shoots out basically like Electrobolt from the first Bioshock. And if you hold it, you can fling these little crystal traps that will give off about 2 or 3 sparks before all of the crystals are broken. The good thing is that they will arc to each other, so you can set up like 3 or 4 of them, and they will continuously arc and basically just like fry every enemy in the area. So I'm running past all the rest of these enemies because I don't actually have to fight them. There's one kind of funny thing when I get back outside. There are a ton of enemies in that area where the snipers were. And in order to basically skip all of the enemies, I lock onto one of the enemies that's running away, and Deadly Lungers propels me towards him incredibly quickly, as you'll see. So that skips me running through that whole area, so I don't get shot up as much, which is nice. And this little section is spent just waiting for those cargo containers to get out of the way, so that the skyline can become active and I can get the hell out of here. And then you can go use Shock Jockey on the gondola controls.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
So coming up is the last major fight for this area. Once you activate the gondola that takes you up to the First Lady,
When I was younger, I did just...
it is a timed fight, which means that there is no way to speed it up. And once the gondola gets here, there is a lock that Elizabeth has to pick. And as I mentioned in a previous video, or maybe even in this one, Elizabeth will not pick the lock as long as she is in sort of like battle mode. It'll say, you're still in combat, you can't pick the lock. So since the only way to get out of combat is to kill all of the enemies in the area, there's not really a point in trying to do this area quickly.
I'm leaving, and there's not...
So you'll kind of see me just stand around for a little while I'm waiting for most of the enemies to either try to find me or I'll find them. So obviously, since we're outside, the majority of this fight is spent being invincible, just trying to skyhook around and take out enemies.
There's no escape!
One cool thing that I found in this fight that I didn't even know you could actually do, or that they had kept in the game in some fashion, was the ability to melee people while you're on the skyline. I mean, I know you can obviously shoot from it, but in one of the trailers they showed Booker take like a pipe and then he smacked some guy off of who was coming the opposite way from him, and you can actually do that with your Skyhook. So it's kind of cool that they kept that in. So the 2 ships are now devoid of enemies, so that's good. We'll go punch this guy right in his face. Whammo. Since I'm still invincible, these guys can't really do anything to me. So we'll just chuck this guy off of here. And then we'll just hang out here for a second and see who's left. As you can see, the skyline, or the gondola is about halfway down. The enemy that's on the skyline is a motorized Patriot. So there are a few more enemies left. So there's the last guy, and the gondola's almost here, so we'll kill that guy and then take out the motorized Patriot. That's pretty much it for that fight.
Putting those lock-picking skills to work.
So we'll have Elizabeth pick that, and then we'll have a short dialogue scene, and then we'll get in one more small fight before we get to the actual airship, and then we'll be pretty much out of this place.
When you were unconscious on the beach, you kept repeating a woman's name. Anna.
I don't want to talk about that.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pried. Where are you from, Mr. DeWitt?
New York.
What did you do there?
Business much like this. Something that really caters writing on a resume.
It was a fine thing you came along when you did.
How do you think I ended up here? I gambled, and now I owe money to men you don't want to be in debt to. I come here to pay it back. Me busting you out, what do you think that was? Charity?
Who sent you?
Somebody who was willing to take my marker in exchange for you.
So we're almost to the station now, and there are a few guys inside here, although you can basically just ignore them. You can just run up to the elevator and get in. Oh, excuse me.
So, looks like they call you the false shepherd.
And you the lamb.
Let's not call each other that.
Suits me.
How do you figure they'd know you'd be coming?
Either they've got a profit on their side,
Har har.
or them that hired me also wrote the signs.
Why?
Got me.
Here's some cash.
Alrighty, so that does it for this episode, and I will see you guys next time.
You alright?
I want to see Paris. I want to see everything.
It's up to you now. There's no one...
Wait, what is that? 40 north by 74 west. That's not Paris, that's New York.
How'd you know that?
One thing I had in that tower was time, Mr. DeWitt. Time to study things like geography.
I owed money. And there's a fellow who... He offered to wipe away my debt in exchange for you. Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Everything's gonna be okay. Will you just turn around and talk to me and we can...